We have something out of Houston. John Wall and Harden have some quotes. James Harden said, "The Rockets are just not good enough. I love this city. I have done everything that I can. This situation is crazy. It's something that I don't think can be fixed." So he's given up. That's the gist with that one. Harden is, to me, putting the last 5 years or whatever on his back when he says this, because for this team specifically, they're just 3 games under 500. They're not in that big of a hole right now. It's not too much bigger than that, man. You just have a basketball team that does have some talent that you've checked out on. That's what that quote says to me. Then John Wall had a few quotes himself. "It's only been 9 games. Come on, man. You want to jump off the cliff after 9 games. When you have certain guys that don't want to buy in, it's hard." John Wall sees what all of us see. If Harden buys into this Rockets team, this is a good team. And I was a little doubtful on John Wall still being good, but he has been good. If the offers for the guy are crap, and we've talked about the offers enough, then it would be better to just hold on to him, but at the same time, it's like, if he's going to ruin the culture that much, would it pressure Houston to trade him for a not as good package? I don't think it would. I still think you need to get an amazing offer back for the guy. I mean, Charles Barkley on TNT was like, "Oh, just get Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen, and, you could be a good team right now." No, screw that. If they do that, then the Rockets might as well not be a franchise for the next 10 seasons. In 2 of his last 3 games, he's had below 20 points, which is like, when the hell does that ever happen to James Harden? Especially in the regular season. And to be honest, it actually goes farther out than that. In his last 5 games, the most points he's scored is 21 points. The same guy who we've seen through stretches of regular seasons drop 30, 40 points. Now, you could say, well, the assists are high. But, I mean, we've seen this dude average 30 and 11 in a regular season. We've seen him average 36 and 8. I mean, hell, he had a game where he shot 0 free throws. Has James Harden ever shot 0 free throws before 5 days ago against the Magic? So I think the stats back up what Harden is saying. I mean, the guy, he's showing up and he's doing as much as he wants to do, I guess. Which, granted, is still way better than the average NBA player, even if his scoring hasn't been amazing. But clearly, this is not a guy who is checked into this team. And for the sake of the culture of the team, you would hope that a move happens quickly, but for the sake of the future of the Rockets, they should not settle. Now, I think the next thing to think about, and a lot of this is speculation because it depends on the return, but depending on the return, you think about, well, how could the Rockets build it up from there? Well, if they get themselves a young star player, whether it's Ben Simmons, Tyler Hero, if they think Tyler Hero is a young star, Jaylen Brown, although I have established that I do not want that one to happen, and I don't think that one will. I don't think Danny Ainge will do that move. But, you get yourself some young star player, you probably get somebody else who's all right as well, and a whole bunch of draft picks. You think about that scenario for Houston, and it's like, well, okay, John Wall, young star player, Christian Wood, Eric Gordon still all right, whole bunch of draft picks. They could be a good team there. Whether they'd be like a great team, playoff contender in the Western Conference, that'd be a little bit of wait and see, but they could also have the ammo to then make a trade for a star player later on. I mean, Christian Wood is going to be a great trade piece in any move. Maybe he'll be so good that they wouldn't want to trade him, but if a real superstar becomes available and Christian Wood and a bunch of draft picks is your starting point, you could be onto something, especially because Eric Gordon's money is non-guaranteed in the last season, so that's like not really expiring money, but it's close to expiring money, especially if you chop off this season, because we assume a lot of this would then happen in the offseason or whatever. Then perhaps that could be their path to getting back to being pretty good. Because again, this is all happening with good young player that they got from the Harden trade initially. Could we also see the idea of them just tanking, bottoming out, going that route? I don't really think so. I think they have too many good players that they'd have to trade at this point. I guess it's not impossible. I mean, we saw Sam Presti make it pretty obvious the route he wanted to go. If they want to, they can do it. Although trading John Wall is still going to be difficult, even if he has been better this season. But it's like, young star player. Everybody else is gone. Bottom out. Go for the highest pick possible in 2022 because it wouldn't be able to happen this year because their pick is top 4 protected. I guess it's a possibility. I don't think it's the best bet, but I don't think you can rule it out. I do not know a single thing about the 2022 draft. I know that Chet Holmgren is the best prospect according to NBA Draft Room, supposed to be a 7-footer who is mobile and multi-talented according to them, so we'll see. There's Jaden Hardy, who has comparisons to James Harden. I don't know. 2023 is Amani Bates, who many people say is the next real superstar prospect. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is if Houston feels like they have an opportunity to go for anybody in the top of the draft, then maybe they go that route. But again, we need to see what the return for Harden is first, and then we can start speculating on those kinds of things.